What is going on, Pretender here, back with another Honkai start off guide, and today I'm here with the full build guide for the new Remembrance Trailblazer. So this video I'm going to be taking you over the kit and Eidolons, including the memo sprite details, then I'll be taking you over best lightcone options, followed by that will be the best Relic and Planar ornaments, and then finally the Relic Mainstat and Substat recommendations, and then at the very end, I'll be taking you over some team general ideas. That's all I want to say before I get into the video. If you guys find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star content. If you know anyone that may need a Remembrance Trailblazer guide, be sure to send them this video as it may help them. Check the description to join the Discord and also check out my second channel, and let's get straight into the video. So this Trailblazer is ice following the path of Remembrance. Basic attack deals ice damage equal to 100% of Trailblazer's attack to one designated enemy. Skill summons the Memo Sprite Mem. If Mem is already on the field, restores Mem's HP by an amount equal to 60% of Mem's max HP and grants Mem 10% charge. Ultimate summons Memo Sprite Mem, grants Mem 40% charge, and then makes Mem deal ice damage equal to 240% of Mem's attack to all enemies. Talent: Memo Sprite Mem has an initial speed of 130 and a max HP equal to 80% of the Trailblazer's max HP plus 640. For every 10 energy regenerated by all allies in total, Mem gains 1% charge. Technique: after using Technique, creates a special dimension that lasts for 10 seconds. Enemies within the special dimension are placed in a time stop state, halting all their actions. After entering battle against enemies afflicted with the time stop state, delays the action of all enemies by 50%, and then deals ice damage to all enemies equal to 100% of Trailblazer's attack. Only one dimension effect created by allies can exist at the same time. Now for the Memo Sprite skills. The Memo Sprite skill deals 4 instances of damage, with each instance dealing ice damage equal to 36% of Mem's attack to one random enemy. At the end, deals ice damage equal to 90% of Mem's attack to all enemies. Memo Sprite talent increases all allies crit damage by an amount equal to 12% of Mem's crit damage plus 24%. If the charge has yet to reach 100%, Mem automatically uses Baddie's Trouble when taking action. When the charge reaches 100%, Mem immediately takes action. In the next action, can select one ally and use Let Me Help You. And what the Let Me Help You does is advances the action of one designated ally by 100% and grant them Mem support lasting for 2 turns. For every 1 instance of damage dealt by the target that has Mem support, additionally deals 1 instance of true damage equal to 28% of the original damage. When using this ability on this unit, cannot trigger the action advance effect. And then for when Mem is summoned, immediately gains 50% charge, and when Mem disappears, Trailblazer action advances by 25%. For the bonus abilities, A2, when the battle starts, Trailblazer's action advances by 30%. When Mem is first summoned, grants Mem 40% charge. A4, when using Baddie's Trouble, Mem immediately gains 5% charge. And the A6, when the max energy of an ally target that has Mem support exceeds 100, for every 10 excess energy, additionally increases the multiplier of the true damage dealt via Mem support by 2%, up to a maximum increase of 20%. Now for the Eidolons, the E1 increases the crit rate of the allied targets that have Mem support by 10%. When an allied target has Mem support, the effect of Mem's support also applies to the target's Memo Sprite / Memo Master. This effect cannot stack. E2, when ally Memo Sprite aside from Mem take action, Trailblazer regenerates 8 energy. This effect can trigger up to a maximum of 1 time per turn and resets at the start of Trailblazer's turn. E4, when an ally with 0 energy actively uses an ability, Mem can also gain 3% charge, and the multiplier of the true damage dealt by this target via Mem support additionally increases by 6%. And the E6, Ultimate's crit rate is set at 100%. Now for the best Lightcone options. As you can tell, Remembrance is practically brand new, so there really isn't many options, but the best option you do want to use is the free-to-play Victory in a Blink Lightcone, which provides a 12% increase to crit damage, and when the wearer's Memo Sprite uses an ability on an ally target, increases the damage dealt by all allied targets by 8% for 3 turns. And then at S5, which is easy to get as it is free, it's a 24% crit damage increase with a 16% increase to damage dealt for all allies. As the job of the Remembrance Trailblazer is mainly being a sub-DPS, but also the main focus is to buff allies, give them true damage, and let them go crazy. The extra damage that you're giving to everyone is going to be nice, and on top of this, Lightcone giving you 24% crit damage is fantastic, as the Remembrance Trailblazer is able to give everyone crit damage based off their own crit damage, so the fact that this gives you a bigger increase to crit damage is going to be fantastic for that buff, overall making this the best option you can use. The other better option for the supportive side is going to be the 3-star Shadowrun Lightcone, which when the wearer summons Memo Sprite for the first time, recovers 1 skill point and regenerates 12 energy for this unit. I say better for support because this literally is just for the extra skill point you do get. The ultimate's also nice because you do get the energy, and as 5 it's 20 energy. So it does let you get the ultimate faster, which is kind of just whatever. But it's still good there. But the fact that it gives you a skill point can definitely help teams that are a little hungry on the skill point side or need a little more to set up, so this can help there. Overall, making this a solid option as well. And then the last option is going to be the Battle Pass Lightcone. Sweat Now, Cry Less, which provides a 12% increase to crit rate, and when the wearer's Memo Sprite is on the field, increases damage dealt by the wearer and their Memo Sprite by 24%. And once this is able to be S5'd, it becomes 20% and a 36% increase to damage dealt. So this is going to be purely for the own damage of the Remembrance Trailblazer and Mem, focusing less on their supportive capabilities and more capitalizing on the fact that they can deal some decent damage. This isn't really what you want to use because the better role is to just have your Remembrance Trailblazer be optimized for buffing. But if you do want them to be a bigger DPS, then this can be good because then you will obviously want some good crit rate for a good crit ratio, so getting the extra crit rate is nice, and then increasing damage dealt is nice. So for a more DPS oriented Remembrance Trailblazer, this is a good option. For the best relic sets for the Remembrance Trailblazer, overall the best for a more supportive side and generalist is going to be doing 2-piece speed, so 2 pieces of the Relieved Ordeal for the 6% speed, and also 2-piece speed again with Hacker Space, giving you up to a 12% speed increase, as it's going to be very easy to hit speed thresholds that you do want to do. So whether you're doing a specific speed tuning below hyperspeed, it's going to make you need less rolls. For getting them to hyperspeed and above, which is usually what most people will do, it's just going to make it a lot easier to get your speed tunings, and since there's not really a 2-piece that is going to increase the buff, and since the ultimate is actually a damage thing, you can't really use the 4-piece of Hacker Space. This 4-piece of Hacker Space does need you to use it on an ally, and they do not do that, so you can't do that. And since you don't use the skill on anyone and you don't use the ultimate on anyone, they can't use 4-piece of the Relieved Ordeal either, so you're better off just doing 2-piece speed and 2-piece speed, which is going to be the best option for the better role of Remembrance Trailblazer being the more sub-DPS slash support slash also true damage enabler. But if you do want to get the most damage out of your Remembrance Trailblazer, then you can also opt to use the Hero of the Triumphant Song, which provides a 12% attack increase, and while the wearer's Memo Sprite is on the field, increases the wearer's speed by 6%. When the wearer's Memo Sprite attacks, increases the wearer's Memo Sprite's crit damage by 30% for 2 turns. So nice 30% crit damage for your Memo Sprite is going to be there, good for damage as well. And the extra 6% speed is going to be pretty helpful to get as well. Since obviously if you're able to hit the speed threshold you do want running 4-piece of this, that's obviously going to outdo 2-piece speed, 2-piece speed, since you don't need any extra speed there. And then the 2-piece increasing attack percent is also beneficial. So overall for the damage potential slash if you're able to hit the speed thresholds you do want with just this set, is going to be the other best set you can use. And then really it's just combining 2-piece 2 pieces again, and in this case it would be practically all you would do is supportive stuff, so you can do 2-piece speed with 2-piece attack. The 2-piece speed is the only really thing you can do for support, the rest is going to be for damage. So again, 2-piece of one of the speed ones, 2-piece scholar, 2-piece of one of the attack percent sets, which is a bunch such as the wind soaring set, hero set, the new poet set, dot set, musketeers, and so on. You can also do 2-piece of the one of the ones mentioned, and do 2-piece of the ice set, as they do deal ice damage, so a 2-piece of 10% ice damage increase is an option. And then the last thing I want to talk about is 4-piece of the eagle set. The 2-piece increasing wind damage is useless. The 4-piece gives an action forward by 25% after the wearer uses their ultimate. Assuming you do hit certain speed thresholds, this can become a very powerful set, but can also be a bit tricky since you do want to make sure your mem does act at a time that's going to be convenient, rather than be a time where you use an action forward and then suddenly it's mem's turn and now you have another action forward that you don't need. So be very careful when tuning this, because you will need specific tunings for this to properly work, but if you're able to, it becomes a very powerful set. But again, mainly 2-piece speed is going to be one of your best bets. If not that, 4-piece of the hero set is going to be great. Past that is just 2-piece 2 pieces, so 2-piece of one of the speed ones and 2-piece of attack percent increasing set, or 2-piece of one of those and do 2-piece ice set, or again with specific speed tunings, 4-piece of the eagle set. For some of the best Planar ornaments, a really powerful one is going to be Broken Keel, which provides a 10% increase to effect res, and once you have 30% or higher effect res, gives everyone 10% crit damage. So more effect res and giving you up to 30% effect res can help you get CC'd less in battle, and now you're giving everyone crit damage, which also does apply to the wearer, so now your Trailblazer will have more crit damage, which is able to further increase the crit damage buff you do get, albeit it's not going to be much, it's just 10% you're getting here, so it's not going to increase it by an insane amount that's going to be game changing. But it's going to be a 10% you do give to everyone, plus that little more yours will be buffed by, so that's an option you can do, and overall making Broken Keel one of, if not the best sets you can run. Another good option is just running the Lushaka set, which provides 5% increase in energy regeneration rate, and when not positioned first in the team lineup, increases the attack of the character that is first in the team lineup by 12%. So if you are running them alongside someone that is going to be benefiting from the attack percent buff, you don't position them first, position your hyper carry as first, and the one you're going to be buffing with true damage and all that stuff. Now they're also getting an extra 12% attack, so that's going to be nice. So a nice supportive set, and the extra energy regeneration rate increased by 5% is also going to be pretty nice, just to get more ults, so that can be beneficial there, and also making this a good option. Literally Aegis is another option you can use, as it provides 12% max HP increase for some survivability, and once you do have 120 speed or higher, which always will, gives everyone 8% attack. So now you're also giving everyone an 8% attack increase, so that's going to be nice for any DPSs that are going to benefit from attack. And as I mentioned, the max HP increase is going to be good for some survivability, making Aegis another good option. Now, if you are running the Remembrance Trailblazer alongside another Ice DPS, which is commonly the Herda, but also with someone like Jingliu, then you can also rock the Penacony set, which provides 5% increase in energy regeneration rate and increases damage by 10% for all other allies that are the same type as the wearer. So a free 10% damage for someone like the Herda or Jingliu, as I mentioned, or any future Ice DPSs that you may use the Remembrance Trailblazer with. So that's going to be a nice thing you can do. And then again, the energy regeneration rate, 5% increase just for some more ults, can be a bit nice. Not game changing, but still is nice to have. And so overall, if you are running another Ice DPS paired with the Remembrance Trailblazer, then Penacony becomes wrong set. And the last thing I want to talk about is running the Bandana Amusement set. This is the best that you can do for the Remembrance Trailblazer's own damage, providing you up to a 48% increase to crit damage, which will also help with the buff a little bit, but I definitely do recommend just running a supportive set. But again, if you are running something like a DPS Remembrance Trailblazer, then you can safely run this, and this one will also help the buffing a little bit as well, as it provides a lot of crit damage, but the crit damage you do gain is not such a game-changing one. So this 48% does seem like it's a lot, but when it comes to the actual buff, it's actually not that much. So it's mainly going to be the focus of the Remembrance Trailblazer's own damage, so this is a set you can use if you are wanting to do a more damaging side Remembrance Trailblazer, while also getting a bit of a buff from the actual crit damage, as it's providing a lot more crit damage for you to have, which is going to let you provide more crit damage through the buff that they do have. Or the main stats on the relics. For the body, you're practically always going to want to have crit damage to further increase the buff you do give to your allies. If you are running a DPS based Remembrance Trailblazer and you don't really care about that buff too much, then you can opt to do crit rate, but again, I mainly just recommend building as a more support / sub DPS, so doing crit damage is going to be the way. For the feat, you want speed. For the orb, as the main stat does not actually have anything that would increase a buff, you can opt to just use ice damage, so that's going to be the best for damage. But if you have a really good HP orb or a defense orb, you can also have to use those. Ice damage is going to be the best overall, as it does just give you the most damage, and again, the main stat doesn't increase any buff you would get, so ice damage is going to be the best option, but running HP or defense is going to be a good option you can use. And then for the link rope, you want energy regeneration rate. For the substats, first you want to prioritize getting speed to a breakpoint that you want to get, which will vastly vary on different players. Overall, recommended to get them above 160. Getting them to hyperspeed or higher is going to be very, very beneficial, and then it would practically just be getting them as fast as possible as you can after that. Past that will be more crit damage, so you can further increase the buff, and if you are using Broken Keel, then obviously you want to hit 30% effect res. So again, speed 160 or higher, or as much as possible, or if you have a certain weird tuning you're doing with the Eagle set, then you can opt to focus on that. Past that, more crit damage to further increase the buff, and then again, if you are using Broken Keel, then focusing on effect res till you do hit that 30%, and that's what you want to do. Now for the team ideas / general team recommendations. So for the Remembrance Trailblazer, you practically just want to slot them in any team that can benefit from something like the Action Advance, which practically any DPS would, and would also benefit from stuff like the crit damage buff and also the true damage, which again, true damage is just broken, so anyone can benefit from that. But some general ideas is going to be running them with someone like the Herda. I don't have the Herda, so I'm just going to put normal Herda here, so just pretend that's the Herda. They work fantastic together, and then your team would be something like that, and then you'd need your other Air Edition characters, so I'm just going to put Jade here. And the last slot would be your sustain, so you could do anyone that you would have best. In this case, one of the best ones would be Huohuo, but if you don't have Huohuo, you just sub up for the best sustain you would run on the team. So again, you could run someone like Lingsha, you can run someone like Gallagher, Yellenville, you can run Aventurine. You do have a lot of options for the sustain, as there's a bunch of options. You would just practically use the best one, you can't do it there. Another team they're actually really good on is actually just running them with Yunli, since Yunli does attack a lot, so the bunch of true damage procs you can get is going to be a very, very, very nice thing you can do. So running with Yunli is great, and since Yunli also can benefit from the crit damage, that's going to be another great thing you can do. So I'd practically be doing hypercarry Yunli, so Remembrance Trailblazer, Yunli, and then you'd have another Harmony support. The best one in this case would be Robin, but if you don't have that, you could also do someone like Sunday as well. You could do Ruan Mei, which is a bit anti-synergy with Yunli, but still does have some nice buffs you can do if you do avoid breaking them. Practically whatever you do have for the Harmony support that does work well with Yunli, and then again, last slot would be sustain, so whatever you got that works with the sustain. So again, the general idea is to pair any any team that does have the benefits to getting the action advanced, so Yunli can get more charge off of it. Crit damage buff benefits her as well, the true damage from how many times she hits. So characters that also do hit a lot and their ultimate or their skill is going to benefit a ton from it as well, since true damage proc can be a lot of damage. And it's actually very possible to use them with someone like E2 Acheron as well, since with E2 Acheron you just need one agility. So the best Remembrance Trailblazer Acheron team you'd be doing is the Remembrance Trailblazer, Acheron, and then you'd have your Jiaoqiu, and then you'd also have Aventurine as the sustain. So once again, it's practically just pairing with anyone that would benefit from the action forward, which E2 Acheron or just Acheron in general would benefit a ton from that. The crit damage buff, if they can benefit from that, and then anyone can benefit from the true damage, so that's gonna be great. So you do have a lot of slot-in ideas. Yep, that is the full build guide for the Remembrance Trailblazer. Once again, if you guys found this video helpful, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for future videos like this, along with all other types of style content. And yep, once again, hope you found the video helpful. Peace out.